Welcome everyone to our podcast. We're up in Big Bear. Last week we were in the booming metropolis of Hemet with Fallen Legacies, and now we're in Big Bear in the freezing cold.
It's cold for sure.
And today we have our special guest, No Consent.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Go party.
Yeah. Cody's here too, by the way.
He's in spirit. So just to get started, just tell me about No Consent. What are you guys about? Your band? What do you guys kind of style music? All that fun stuff.
So I guess we're like people call us like a melodic hardcore punk, maybe a little bit of metal influence. Kind of just make music that we like and just do kind of whatever we want with it. You know what I mean? we started off as like a ska band was our main goal. We wanted to do like hardcore ska. And that didn't work out so well. So
what's hardcore ska? I don't think I know.
I guess like more of like
ska influences, like Leftover Crack.
Yeah, like we were super into Leftover. We started the band by going to a Leftover Crack show.
Okay.
And from there, the band just kept going, and then we realized like we started playing like heavier songs, and it was like, oh shit, this might be it. You know what I mean?
You're like Hot Dog.
Yeah. It was like we like this a lot more. You know, we're all like super into metal, super into like hardcore punk already, so it just made sense. Like, but our stance is pretty much like we're anti-authority, anti-cop, anti all that stuff, but it's pretty much like anti-injustice. Like we just believe in people just doing the right thing and, you know, living their lives without harming other people and shit like that. If you can do things or make your dreams come true without stomping on other people or, you know, causing harm in the way of doing
no
that.
harm.
Yeah.
Take no shit.
Be no
fuck
shit.
The government.
Fuck the government. Down with the man.
Yeah, pretty much is just like oppression and stuff like that, and like looking up to your oppressors or whatever, you know, even like that. So
well, that's a difficult thing. There's a lot of a-holes out there nowadays.
oh yeah,
Flat out. So good for you guys. Like it to the man.
right.
So how long have you guys been playing together?
Since sometime in 2019.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going a little over 3 years right now.
Something like that. Oh yeah, I think we just hit like 3 years as a band.
Like
so.
August or July.
The first year was like midst of COVID and the quarantine and all that stuff, so it was like
We became a band, and then
we used to like
hit.
practice like at first with like masks
Oh,
on and
shows.
shit.
Oh wait,
yeah.
never mind.
Then we're like
Todd, big shout out.
yeah. We used to like practice with like bandanas on, you know, and like and masks and stuff because it was like, oh, you might die, you know what I mean? And so now it's obviously, you know, none of us are like sick or elderly or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
We're
we're gonna
sick.
die. Yeah, we're sick in the head.
That's a different kind of sick.
But yeah, so we just got to start doing that and just playing in the garage a bunch. And then it wasn't until everything started kind of loosening up that we started really playing shows and really becoming a band instead of just like four idiots, you know, jamming in the garage. We're still four idiots jamming in the garage.
But now you play shows.
But now we play more shows, yeah.
So when you started, because it was during COVID, you didn't play any shows, or you just played maybe few?
Like very few, or if it was
I
like
think we
at
played
a
like
friend's.
3 before COVID hit. Or
Oh yeah, I
4.
think we played a few, but it was just like at a
like
friend's
small
house
little
or, like,
shows.
at a little cafe in Lucerne Valley and stuff, you know, like they have great like meat and stuff like that. But
We had a bunch planned during COVID, but then COVID hit and they all got either canceled or
right, and then I think with the boom of everything coming back, we were lucky just to jump on it and throw our music out there, and we got really lucky, and we've had a lot of good success with everything we've done so far. So
Nice. So where all are you guys? Play wherever? There's places you want to play more than others, or just hey, wherever you can play, you'll play.
we want to play wherever. Yeah, like pretty much our furthest reach up north so far is like San Francisco or like San Jose. We haven't made it
Even Oregon and Canada, if you want to go north.
Well, no,
north.
we want to go everywhere. We haven't played that far yet now, but
But people know. I guess people. I've heard that people know about us
we
there,
have like
and I'm
supporters
like, wow.
everywhere. It's cool.
Oh, really?
We
That's
have people in like
crazy.
Germany listen to our stuff, and in we actually have like a whole band
Japan.
that's in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wait, a whole band? What?
Shit
the band
Happens.
Shit Happens from Winnipeg.
Okay.
They're awesome people. You should interview them. I'll plug another band.
How am I supposed to get to Winnipeg?
I don't know.
We can do them over the phone.
Yeah,
Let's do
do it
those phone
over the
capability.
yeah, they're awesome. But I talk to them all the time. They're cool. Our buddy Mike, he's in Winnipeg too, it's weird that like they both found our music, but have no idea about each other, but are both in the punk scene. And it was like, hey, like from America, from California, we were able to make them like meet up, and now they're
In Winnipeg?
yeah, now they're friends. And it was like, how the hell did we do that? Like, you guys live down the street from each other. But they're super awesome people, and yeah, we want to play everywhere. Like, I think the furthest we have played is San Jose up north, and then furthest like east is like Mesa. We're actually going to Mesa again
December 3rd.
December 3rd.
Definitely want to play in Chico.
Huh?
I definitely want to play in Chico.
I want to play everywhere. I want to play Europe. I want
I
to
lived
play
up there for a little while.
Australia. I want to go play with the Chats. I love the Chats.
The shots, as they call it. I talked to some Australian guy at the bar. He's like, "Oh, the shots." And he's like, "I'm on Smoko." I was like, "Yeah, those guys, man."
The Shats.
So
What,
dope.
they call it a different name?
It's just that their
It's the way
accent
they,
with it.
yeah. It's cool though. It's nice and soft. Shots.
So when you guys drive out to Mesa to play, do you just play one show? You play a couple shows? Or you just go out there for one if you needed to?
It all depends, like this one. I think we're just doing the one off because we got asked to go out there. We're playing at the Nile Theater, which is an amazing venue.
A lot of times we do like a 2-shot or a 3-shot.
Yeah, we like to like bulk it up. Like we're doing what is it, a 6-day tour with MDC in February.
Okay.
And so we're stoked on that one. I think like the most we've done is like 3 days, and then I think we did a 3-day tour one time, and then another 3-day tour the next weekend, and that was rough, but
So with the
Yeah,
big
TV
tour bus
tragedy.
and everything.
yeah,
The whole,
that was fun. But it was we were dead
Yeah.
afterwards.
That was
And how
really
long was
fun.
that one? 3 days?
It was just 3 days on, like what was that? 4 days off, 3 days on, It was something like that.
dude.
It was pretty
It was
crazy,
cool.
but
And where'd you go?
oh man, one of them was from I think the first one was like Las Vegas to Bullhead City to Havasu, and then we did what was it, like Morro Bay to San Jose to. Did we do another one, or was it just those two? Maybe it was 3 days on, 2 days.
It was another on the way back. We stopped at the Screaming Sally's.
Oh, and then we played Screamy Sally's, so down like
Right
Devore,
before.
San
Yeah,
Bernardino
that's
area.
Man, that's just driving.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was pretty gnarly. It was fun though. We think we're trying to set up something to go up back north because we have a bunch of friends bands up there, and that's the cool thing about punk rock is you just meet people and you get to know people just from music, like
Yeah.
the guys from Fallen Legacies and the guys from
Those guys.
Yeah,
Those guys,
like,
dude.
our buddies from Since We Were Kids, and like bands like Shit Happens from Winnipeg. Like, we never met them in my life, but they're the nicest people in the world.
So have you played shows with those guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Plenty of times?
We actually have some shows coming up with them January 6th and 7th, I want to say. Yeah, 6th and 7th. Because I had it as 5th and 6th, but it's the 6th and 7th.
Yeah, they
Can't recall.
they did a lot to get us going too. Like,
Oh, yeah?
I
Oh, yeah.
remember, yeah. Isn't that where we met our current, like, we call him band dad because he's like fucking, band manager, band
yeah.
dad. He's kind of just, he's our friend.
Yeah, and
he's a
we-
friend. And that's where we met
we
David.
met
Yeah, the
David
show that they put on.
Cousins.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
Like, he's like our manager, advisor, whatever
Out
the fuck
the
you want to
skate
call
ranch.
it.
He's just, he's our friend, dude. Before
They
anything,
gave
I
us
think,
our first like bigger shows.
Nice.
But yeah, we're going to play, it's Vegas and then Bullhead City on the 6th and the 7th.
Where's Bullhead City? That sounds familiar.
Do you know where
Right
Laughlin
next to
is?
Laughlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the other side of the
Other
river.
yeah.
No, the wrong side of the tracks,
Dude,
Wink, wink.
been there, done that.
He just moved back from Bullhead.
I was living in Bullhead for a while. I was, I wasn't like, oh my God, no, I can't. It was just like, I want to go back to Big Bear. I miss my friends. I have work up here. I've been up here my whole life. So, after growing up in a town like this, you're like, man, I got to go back where I know, where I know people. I don't know. That's why traveling is a blessing, I guess.
I was telling
Yeah.
you, Big Bear like sucks you in. It's like the town of it's who you know, not what you know, and
Yeah.
Right.
you can kind of
Sucks
come
you in and sucks you off.
Yeah. It's literally
And I'm spent.
a lot of people from here will talk a lot of shit, but then you'll catch them like, man, I love this place. Like, I don't think I'll ever get over this place. You just can't. It's like magical.
So here's a question. I mean, this is my ignorance. I'll be honest. I don't know much about Big Bear. And how did 4 punk-influenced musicians get together in Big Bear? Is there a scene here? I mean, that just sounds. I was just
Not
thinking.
really.
Wow, that's kind of amazing.
right.
I was kind of lucky.
When we were kids, there was since we were kids, But when we were kids, there was like a big. I guess there was like a big insurgence of like this guy had like a metal band back when he was a kid. Like I was in a reggae band. like in a bunch of, I was in this like kind of like harder rock band. It was like definitely rock. It wasn't, but it was like pretty much up here
before the internet fucking change things.
And back then too, it was like especially in Big Bear, you would just find musicians that you kind of clicked with, and that's who you played with. You know what I mean?
That's who you rolled with.
So if they're like, "Hey, you want to join a reggae band?" I'm like, not really, but sure. Like reggae's cool. And
you're trading tapes with someone. It's like, oh shit, you like the same music as me?
And like I love reggae and stuff. You know what I mean? I love metal. I love punk. I love all types of music as long as it's good music. But yeah, I would rather be in like this band than the other bands I was in and stuff like that. So we got lucky. We were just heading to a Leftover Crack show, and it was before he was in it. It was before original members, Shane, Cody, myself, and Todd, and we were all heading to a Leftover Crack show, and that's where we were kind of hyped on the show. That's why we like wanted to start a like hardcore ska band, whatever, punk ska, whatever, and. So
punk ska metal,
punk ska metal, like whatever. We just needed to smoke more crack, is fine, and then
get a little more crazy.
Yes, and so we realized like on the way to the show that we had 2 guitarists, a bassist, and a drummer all in the same car, and I was a singer, so it was like,
hold on a second.
Yeah, like what are we doing here? So once we got back, I was living in his backyard, and like it was another house, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like camped in his backyard, but it was like a house in his backyard that I lived in. It was just a studio apartment.
You were pretty much roommates.
Yeah, we were pretty much roommates. He had like the big house, and then I was just a single guy. He had like his girlfriend and all that stuff, and just a single guy in the studio, and we'd all hang out back there and just write music and play music and stuff like that.
Nice.
So, and then we had like a falling out with Todd. We said like he's still a great friend of ours and stuff.
Amazing
like that.
friend.
Yeah,
I have to say he's fun to hang
he's
around with.
He's even good friends with him.
Yeah, like the new
like,
guitarist is friends with the old
replacement,
guitarist, and we're just fucking always talking, always hanging out. I guess whenever he's around.
He had a lot of
Just a
stuff
big
going on in his
family.
life, and it was kind of a mutual like.
He had his kids, and he needed to rearrange his priorities,
which he
I
did
completely
successfully.
respect.
I think I don't know. He still plays music. He still does his thing. I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So it's a small Big Bear. So it sounds like it's pretty close knit. Once you have a friend, it's not like peace. We're not talking to that fool.
Yeah.
Like you're still
like we've
associate with them.
Even if like we haven't been friends, like I've known of this kid since I was young. Like I haven't known him
Since you were kids.
Right.
Yeah,
We've
since we were
known
kids.
of each other, but
So
Yeah,
it's
me
like
and
even-
Shane, like we started playing music together. Like we were fucking 13, 14, like bassist, drummer, like covering Metallica and shit.
Right.
So where did you start? You talked about a lot of these musical influence. What was your beginning influences in wanting to play music, or was it like you were talking about when you guys went to the show, or what were your beginning influences?
Like when we first picked up instruments, or when?
Just like, I want to play in general.
Well, when I was young, I just was super into music and stuff. So I started like joined like a band, like the school band. And then from there, I tried drums, I tried bass, tried all that, and then I tried guitar because I was super into like Jimi Hendrix, and I was like a young kid with long hair and smoked a bunch of pot and listened to like Jimi Hendrix and Black Sabbath and stuff, and was like, fuck yeah, and realized how much I was my dad's kid,
From all that rebelling.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you, dad, and then I grow up and I'm like, dude, we listen to the same music.
so
Like I
funny,
was
dude.
literally you, just a piece of shit.
So did they had guitar and bass in your school band?
No, they didn't want guitar.
Really?
You could have bass, you could have drums, but it was mainly just like playing a snare, yeah. And then you could play bass and stuff, but it was like super like dum dum, like super
Basic.
easy. And then guitar, like they made me learn the flute parts, and I had to because like the music they had written out, wasn't
Like guitar music?
Yeah, they didn't have guitar music in it.
Got you beat on the cringe.
God.
That's a
So
song
then
we
they made me
cover.
go get like a guitar teacher. Like like my parents paid for it because they were like, "Oh, he's interested in music. Go, do it." And so I took classes from her for a while until she was like, "Oh, you're better than what I can teach you." And so
nice.
then I just kind of like, "Oh shit, he's way better than I am." But
Yeah, see, that's the thing though. Is like I remember when I was sort of like I guess quote unquote new in the band. We were playing. We would cover like "Land Down Under" because honestly, that song's fucking fire, and I love it, dude. And then like "Toto" by Africa, obviously, everyone fucking loves that song. But we were covering that song. I was like, then I noticed that the solo's a flute, and I'm like, fuck. All right, like I love this band. How do I fucking do this? They're like, all right, your lead, figure it out. And so I just sit there. I think I sat there a couple nights, and I was like, oh, okay, it's like a lot of half steps. And I remember like when he said that about the learning guitar with the solos weren't guitar. You're like, damn it.
His flute and guitar are weirdly very similar.
They're similar, but like it's not what you would think until you figure out the pattern, and you're like, whoa, that makes a lot of fucking sense. You know, that's cool. I don't know.
Why did you pick bass?
Story.
Yeah, you picked bass of everything.
Well, I mean, like,
He's great at
originally it's because of Cliff Burton, like, because my favorite band as a little kid was Metallica.
You want to fly
Right.
out of an RV.
Yeah, and then like I was like real big in the church as a kid, and the church caught on that I was playing music, so they're like, "Oh,
Heathen.
play music for the fucking worship team." So I was a little thrash metal fucking bassist, playing
Church
worship
bassist.
team, and like getting in trouble because I would like strum too much on the
You're just the church
like,
narc.
this isn't rock and roll, and like old people would complain like, your worship team is a little too much rock and roll. We come here for worship, not rock and roll. Rock
He's
and roll is
playing
satanic.
Satan's music. Yeah.
That's the devil.
It's kind of shit
And then
that
I
makes
got
you go
kicked
like,
off of it because I was like playing like
Play some Black Sabbath in church.
Yeah, they'd start they'd start like praying, and I'd like start playing like the song Black Sabbath while they're playing.
oh my god.
So I understand why
Everyone starts freaking out.
I really do understand why they kicked me out. At the
no
time,
hard
I was like,
feelings
"What
there.
the fuck?
Yeah, at the time you're like, man, I'm free to think whatever.
I'm
And
still a Christian."
I'm still,
I guess.
I'm here, man.
Not anymore, Black Sabbath. Wow, that's pretty cool. What I want to do is just talk about some of your songs that we can put in. I bought your album yesterday and then forgot to put it on my phone. So I had to listen to it on the way up here until the internet cut out.
Right.
Still, thank you. I have to thank you personally for
That
that,
wasn't
man.
planning ahead very well. But some one of the ones that I really like now, Sugarloaf.
Fucked up kids, fucked up life, fucked up men, some trying to fight. Sugar loaf, I got nowhere to stay. Down in the gutter is where I'm laying. Cause easy's ass, all the booze, and I'm fucked up dead. I'm dying to lose my sanity. And all this shit, it happens more often than I would do in bed. Fucked up kids, fucked up life, fucked up mess, I'm trying to fight. Sugar and loaf, I got nowhere to stay. Down in the gutter is where I lay. And comes easy's ass, all the booze, and I'm fucked up and I'm dying to lose all my sanity. And all this shit, happens more often than I would do it now. I'm breaking down in this fucked up town, feeling like that's all I can take. When you come around small ass town, you're just another fucking headache. Fucked up kids, fucked up life, fucked up mess, I'm trying to fight. Sugar and loaf, I got nowhere to stay. Down in the gutter is where I lay.
So yeah, that song, like we're just messing around with it the day before literally the day before we went to go record, as we were packing up everything, and we had 7 songs for the album, and then we ended up going in there and we were talking, and I was like, I don't like the number, like I like the number 7, but I was like, I want like 8 songs, like, and he was like, well, let's try that one, we were messing with, and I was like, oh, should we? And then the guy we were recording with, Armand, he told us like, no, just go for it. If it's shit, it's shit. If you guys hate it, he's like, we'll get rid of it. But he's like, if you don't do it, he's like, you'll never know. So I was like, fuck, okay, let me finish writing the lyrics. And he's like, oh shit, you don't have lyrics written? I was like, some. And so he just like kind of finished it off. It was kind of easy because it's just like our influences and how we grew up, seeing it's pretty much just our life as kids as we were growing up and partying and being idiots up in Sugarloaf.
I feel like it's like a recap of all the things that you can remember from growing up around Sugarloaf and the area here. Like all the things are together.
And then it just blacked out in between.
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
Spots of blacking
just like
out.
you would. You'd black out in between. It's like, well, here I am. Boom. Down
pretty
in the
much
gutters where I
like
lay.
any
You
of the
fucking end
kids
up
up
in the
here that
dirt
aren't
somewhere.
like,
Whoa.
like rich preppy kids will relate to that song.
And I think anybody can relate to that shit. 'Cause when you're up here, if you're back in the day when you're at a party up in Sugarloaf, people were just going nuts.
The rich kids
dude.
partied with us too.
It was everybody. It didn't fucking matter, man.
And the whole point of the song was to not just only be about Sugarloaf. It's like I feel like any kid who's done stupid shit and run around and caused a muck in their own hometown can relate to Sugarloaf. It's like, oh man, I remember my kid, or my friends and us all being shitheads and going and getting drunk and falling asleep in ditches or behind someone's house or
covered in.
I have a buddy that used to every time he'd get drunk, he would wake up in the same guy's front yard. What? So the guy he would just like go to this guy's house and pass out in his lawn, which is like there's not much grass in Big Bear. Yeah, there's barely any houses that have grass, but this guy had grass. And so, like, he'd be like, Michael, what are you doing? And, like I said, it's a small town, so eventually he, like, caught on to who the kid was. And then he'd be like, he'd be like, I'm going to call your parents. We were, like, 16 or 15, you know what I mean? It's like...
Is that Michael Thomas?
Yeah, Michael Thomas.
Now you have to tell him, hey, love you, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You'd be like, why are you saying my name?
No, it's a cool story.
It's a badass story. I love it.
Like, I like that he went to the same house every time.
Dude... I think that's fucking hilarious.
Right? So drunk that you just like, nope, that's where I'm going.
That's my house for now.
There's those prisons be like, wow, but you're like, no, dude, you don't know this guy. Fucking, he's awesome.
I had those spots back in the day
Yeah,
when I used to do that.
Yours was right behind your dealer's house.
Yeah, my H dealer.
Yeah, you pick up some H, go out back, and just pass out.
Gross.
Get well and pass out.
Get well. Ew, dude. Gross. Get well.
Sounds like the excitement in Sugarloaf was cracking because the high school's right around here, right?
Yeah, it's not very far.
What's the population of the high school than when you guys were there? Is it?
I mean, when we were there,
It's
it was
like
fucking,
700 to the max, I think, is like the maximum amount,
like,
right?
Graduating class at, like, when I graduated, it was like 750, I think.
But the graduating, so that means there's three.
All the seniors?
Yeah, all
that
the
many?
seniors.
Oh, wow.
Shit,
It was very.
Your guess is better than mine.
But every grade since then, like, went up exponentially.
I think recently they said like a lot of kids have been. There hasn't been as much kids. Like,
yeah, but population increase.
Well,
like,
yeah.
I'm sure it's like
There's
up
not
in
as
the
many people living
2000s.
up here because all the fucking the rentals and shit. There's no actual housing.
Is it?
Everyone's leaving.
Is that an issue here? Like, is it grown but it hasn't grown?
Yeah, there's like Prop O or whatever. I don't know if that.
Yeah, that didn't pass.
It didn't pass, but they were like gonna try to like limit it to where you could only have you could only rent your house like 2 times a month or something like that. And like, because places up here, it's like
It was like
every day.
It was like
there'd
30
be new people
contracts or
coming in.
something. It was like still like they would have still made a ton of money, like made their mortgage and everything, but
No, you can still get rich off it right now. It's the
Just
difference,
not
yeah.
as much.
Yeah, well, it
didn't
didn't pass, so now
so-
you can still just make a fuck ton of money. Like the
Yeah.
house, 2 houses next to us.
Big Bear's a
used to
gold
be-
mine.
Yeah, it used to be a rental, and it was getting rented like
there was
fucking
an article in the
nonstop.
LA Times like telling people like, yeah, like fucking equity in Big Bear, buy it and fucking rent it out. Like,
Yeah, people
you'll
were
make
just coming up here
millions.
buying shitty cabins and like they're just turning them into like
Yeah.
nice looking Airbnbs and just like tripling
And-
their money by selling them
and
too.
selling, and the, like long-term rentals, like people were getting kicked out of their homes and they were turning into Airbnbs.
Just, hey, we don't want you as a renter. We
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah, because they knew they could make more money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, why have this guy
COVID was
pay?
a weird situation because like everyone was coming up. This was the one spot that everyone could go during COVID.
Because Big Bear was like money, cool, you know,
Yeah.
like
So people were buying like fucking 15 houses. There was corporations buying houses up here,
That kind of sucks.
like in China, like
Oh,
Chinese
really?
corporations.
It's not like Bob over on down the.
well, there's a lot of
Yeah.
people from like OC and LA and stuff. You know, what
Yeah,
I mean?
anyone who had money.
all the fucking yuppies now, but.
bunch of
I'm
animals.
stoked that the house 2 doors over, I was saying that gets rented all the time. We got like a nice couple from Texas and they're
Yeah.
like, we just wanted to get away from Texas and the
Pretty
heat
much has
and-
left our economy in shambles.
Almost.
A lot of people in Big Bear are broke as fuck, which sucks.
Yeah, or moved away
Because of that
can't
whole
afford it.
situation.
I have so many friends that couldn't find a house and were
Yeah,
homeless.
I had the majority of people I
sucks.
knew
Yeah.
were couch surfing or homeless for months.
Man, that's got to be rough.
It's kind of bullshit. Like one day you have a house, and the next second it's like your job's bitching at you because you stink, and it's like, well, I got kicked out of my fucking house, so I live in my car now. You know what I mean? Like,
And hence why, like, our message, capitalism is a fucking bitch. Like, yeah, it can do some good, but...
You got to know how to regulate it and not be an asshole. You know?
Yeah. Unregulated capitalism is...
It's
Insane.
diabolical. Yeah, they can just strip everything clean.
And your colon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do people do for work up here? I mean, I'm assuming it's the ski mountains, but
Right.
that's not a whole lot during the year, or is it all year?
No, a lot of people think since I was a kid is like it was always like, oh, people just work at the mountain and then go on unemployment for the summer, and it's like that's a big thing. Like a lot of fucking people do
That's-
that.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
good.
really
No,
big
really,
percent.
that's a real thing.
I'd say that's like 30 to 40% of the
And
population.
you know, given a lot of these employees, they'll be like, oh, they know what months they're off. They already have something saved, but you know, that's not everybody. So they'll literally majority will just be like, oh yeah, you know, real quick. It just kind of stirs things up if you think about it.
The people that
Nothing's
actually
free.
live here, a lot of people are in fucking poverty. You know what I mean? It's like a super nice touristy town, but yeah, in the village it is. But like,
Right.
go to like
all the
Irwin
rich people
Lake
think
or-
that we're all just up
bunch
here
of
to
ballers.
like fucking. No, they think that we're all just like workers that we come up here to clean up after them.
You're the grunts.
It's-
please
yeah.
them.
It's a crazy dynamic. The fact that you said this is it's literally just like, you know, buyers and sellers versus employees and citizens of the town. So then you have this crazy duality. It's like a double-sided dagger. Things can be really good, they can be really bad, but right now it's just convoluted with all these weird things going on. So it's just like,
Yeah.
hey,
Big Bear's so stuck in the past too. Their mindsets like the everyone like on the chamber of commerce or whatever the fuck, city hall, whatever the fuck it is like all 80, 90 years old and decrepit and falling apart. And
Bunch of
It's like a
And-
smaller version of Congress.
yeah, and like that's everywhere in fucking government. But it's
Yeah.
like that you have to eventually like let new generations ideas come in. Like I don't think a bunch
yeah,
of
they
90-year-old
fucked this
men-
whole fucking town.
it's little things too. It's like, honestly, in this type of like environment, if you can't survive, let the bigger guy make it better. But at the same time, you have these people fighting the weirdest things,
We're like, why are teenagers getting into drugs? What can we do? It's
There's
like, well,
nothing to
there's
fucking
nothing.
do.
Because-
There's nothing for them to like. Yeah, they can go hike or whatever, but there's no like after school programs. There's no parks. There's no disc golf courses. Like,
It's just
If-
go
yeah.
home and figure out.
yeah, it's just like, all right, yeah.
through being like a tourist town and kind of an attraction, that duality kind of exists where like you
Meanwhile,
can't get
they're
small
fucking-
businesses and big businesses to coexist with each other and make, you know, things normal again, I guess, like in other places.
Yeah, all of them are just packing their pockets. And then we had one guy that actually cared about the fucking locals, like Alan Lee, and he got fucking recalled because a bunch of fucking racists decided, oh, we got to get this fucking black guy out of here.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird shit going on, I guess, at the time. It's like 50-50, I guess. It's weird.
That's
But yeah, it's a lot of politics.
Oh, I don't
Local
mind if you want to talk politics.
Big Bear's is
It's
fucking
rough.
weird.
Politics are rough. It's like religion. It's like no matter what you believe in, just don't fuck people over. And how is that so hard to believe? That's why people are like, "Oh, I'm libertarian." I'm like, honestly, good for you, because fuck, at least you're the one that's like, do what you want. But if you fuck with people, you're gonna get
I used
fucked
to say
with
I was
too.
libertarian. Now I'm like, I'm fucking completely against all of it.
You're just waiting
I'm
for it
just
to be right
anti-Tea
again,
Party
right?
system.
Big Bear would rather build a fucking roundabout than fucking build something that would help jobs. You know what I mean?
I don't get those damn roundabouts. They're everywhere.
They're easy. It's just people just that's not what we need. And people are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Like,
you think it's
why?
gonna be easy at the base of fucking Bear Mountain?
I'm
and, and the ice?
Yeah,
I'm
like a bunch
okay
of
with it if
idiots
they're
drunk
already there,
leaving the
but
mountain.
if
I'm
you're
saying
gonna
without the
throw
ice, it's like
fucking
we, okay.
$11 million at a roundabout, like there are so many different things that we could throw $11 million at.
They wanted to bring a Walmart up here and like a other like we don't have anywhere to shop.
we have
to
no
buy
reason.
We used to have,
bro.
we used to have
You
the
can't even
last
buy underwear in
Kmart,
Big Bear.
and
No
now
way.
our Kmart closed down. So there's nowhere to buy clothes
Kmart.
up here. There's nowhere to buy electronics. There's nowhere to buy fucking
And it was
anything.
Kmart.
So if you want to
Kmart.
get, you have to go down
Yeah, which
Yeah.
Big Bear,
Costs-
or not Big Bear.
Which not everybody has the luxury of doing.
Which, you know, Lucerne has fucking nothing. So then you have to go to
Yeah.
Apple Valley, Victorville, you know, whatever, or San Bernardino, or Ontario. You know,
rough.
so everything's an hour away from us, and we don't have anything up here. So it's like we have grocery stores, you know what I mean? So like,
I guess you got food. I mean.
yeah, we got food.
Be happy.
You can live here, and like the water apparently will give you cancer, and you know what I mean? It's like,
Oh, that fluoride. Well, I don't know what song it was that you had. The one about the politicians. Was that Live Free?
oh no, kill them all.
Kill them all, can't let them breathe. Kill them all, politicians and police. Kill them all, can't let them breathe. Kill them all, politicians and police. I took you once, I took you twice. You'll never make it out alive. The punishment for all your crimes is eating you alive. You lost yourself, you lost control. But was it worth your mortal soul? You sold out, you locked us up, but you were the one that was chilling her up. Kill them all, you can't let them breathe. Kill them all, the politicians and police. Kill them all, you can't let them breathe. Kill them all, the politicians and police. I'll rock the phone, I'll rock your jaw and suck all your stupid laws. You let rapists and pedophiles run your dumb fuck state. And fuck every president who ever walked this earth. Fuck you and fuck your feelings. Fuck them for what it's worth. Kill them all. You can't let them breathe. Kill them all, the politicians and police. Kill them all, you can't let them breathe. Kill them all, the politicians and police.
Because that's what like when you were talking about. Yeah, a lot of those people, it's power. They don't want to give up their power, and they don't care who they got to stomp on to get over.
Right.
They don't care.
Yeah.
A lot of them fucking got like grandfathered in and shit, and like, you know, it's, I'm sure when they die, their, you know, great grandson or something will get fucking elected in, and just like the whole George Bush thing, it's like, oh yeah, that's my dad.
That's my daddy.
Yeah, so it's like, oh shit, we know that name. Like,
That's a familiar name.
I fucking hate that shit.
All right, so
Excuse me.
another one that I liked was, I think it was Division of Wealth.
Division of wealth. Just bombs on the shelf.
Yeah, it's a division of wealth. Yeah, it's pretty much just like talking about the division of wealth. How there's the 1%, the 99%, and pretty much it's all about capitalism and how money's fucking the root of all evil. But we also have to like scrounge for money, and if you don't fucking scrounge for money, you're gonna die, you know, or be homeless, or you can probably find some way to live, but the government and everything makes it very hard to live, you know, like without money.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's a
Yeah.
great euphemism for like, you know, no matter what happens, no one's gonna care more about you than you. So fucking do the right thing.
That's what I kept thinking of.
No.
That was the thought that kept going through my mind when listening to it.
That's like
look,
the
you gotta
chorus
pick
is for
yourself up.
sure.
It sucks.
It's pretty much like the
no
verses is more
one
just like
else
bitching
gives
about all
a
these like problems.
fuck.
Pretty much that's how I always looked at it. And then the chorus is pretty much just like fucking do it. No one's gonna do it for you. So figure your fucking life out. You know.
Okay.
Bastard Nation. What was that thing you guys said earlier? There was some person saying that our fans are
They're the bastard nation.
they're the Bastard Nation.
Oh, you got your little club.
I guess. Yeah.
Which at first I was like, what? But they were like, then, you know, Cody was like, no, it's kind of badass. I'm like,
Just a bunch of bastards.
You know what that song?
you fucking
what
bastards.
that song means? Like,
So is that what that kind of came from, or was that before that and then came the Bastard Nation with the group?
So we've never called no one anything. You know what I mean? But
Not you, not
yeah.
you.
But yeah, I guess we wrote that song, and he killed it. He wrote the riff and, you know, murdered it with the solos. And then once we wrote it, it was just like, oh yeah, Bastard Nation, that's a great name for the song. And then it was like, oh, that's a great name for the album even. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just supposed to be like this fucking nation doesn't even have a father, you know? Fuck America.
I just want to go on record that like I suggested a name based off of one of the songs, and like I did not expect this album to be named Bastard Nation. That was like to me.
Was it
Okay,
you that
personally,
recommended it? I can't
yeah,
even remember.
I one of us did it. Whoever recommended it.
It could
I
have
just
definitely
I did
been you. I
not
don't
like that
fucking
was the
remember.
one. I thought it was gonna be called something else, totally like a summary of our album, but literally we named it after the song. And I think that's really fucking badass.
it might have been me.
That's pretty
just because
OG.
That's like one of my favorite songs of ours.
It's just really OG because like I think in my opinion I'm like fuck. You have an album that's named like this is the song that I guess defines the album, and like all I did was write a little riff.
Well, that's why I thought it
You
kind
know?
of set the tone. Like it was like kind of like where all the other songs were like leading into. Like even Sugarloaf, like it's a localized like lyrics like based on Big Bear, California,
Right.
but
Right.
it still pertains to
But it's very California at the same time.
and our nation and like the way things are going.
Well, I was a very rebellious kid. Like
It's
I
not-
was talking about earlier.
And I know a lot of people in other states are like, oh, California, this and that. It's like, no, dude, that's maybe like, I'd say like what, 20%, 15% of the people here
Yeah.
are very like, kind of, you know, weird, get offended for other people, even though you don't understand the joke type of shit.
Right? Like everyone thinks like California is like glitz and glam, and it's like right off the Hollywood Strip is fucking
Right.
Skid Row. You know what I mean? Like not very far.
They think we're just a bunch of fucking hardcore
We
leftists.
we still hunt, we still love
We all
guns,
just have
we still
glitter on our
fucking,
eyeballs and fucking.
you know,
Reptilians. Just a fucking reptile.
Yeah, you're part of the reptilian government.
we just don't like the
shadow government.
we don't like the outdated image of like you have to follow the American dream because that's what it is. It's like it's your dream, dude. This is what it is.
Like
your,
Trump
your
said,
dream
the
is
American
you.
dream is dead. Fuck Trump. But
That's I mean that's
the
a
American
personal
dream
thing, but
is
like
dead.
to me it's like
Biden's a fucking puppet.
your
and Trump's
dream
a
is your
fucking
dream
idiot.
here. Whatever the ideal is to you, it's possible, and I think that's like a part of like why division of wealth is that, you know. It's
I
like
think Biden's
save
actually
yourself.
dead, and they're just like controlling him.
He's a puppet. He's like Bernie. Weekend at Bernie's.
He's got fucking.
He's
They're just like let's put neodymium magnets in his
like, the
joints.
things he says is like if it was like D&D, like they rolled a really bad roll when they like the necromancer was like, all right,
for charm or like charisma.
it's like I'm gonna make my puppet talk, and he rolled like a fucking 4. He's like,
Dude.
oh,
all the D&D players right now are like
the
"Oh, I know what
lobsters
he's
and the
talking about."
crabs.
I can
Like,
bond
what?
with this.
Yes, we are fucking nerds.
You just got like probably like 1,000 people right now to go. I can get jiggy with this right now.
Yeah, man.
So how do you guys write your songs? Like, what's the process, or is it just?
I think it usually just starts off with a riff. Like sometimes,
It usually starts out off with like 3 to 4 notes.
yeah, and then just kind of going from
We
it
all.
and fucking around and figuring out what works.
That's what I love about this band is like we just present things to each other, and then
It's kind of just
we
a
all
jam
build on
session,
it.
and then yeah, we go from there. And if it sounds good,
I've
cool.
always
If it
wanted to
doesn't-
be in a jam band.
Like a dream
Now I
theater.
have one.
We're very much ourselves, but then our influences that we can relate with come together, and somehow we create this. I've never, I have other bands that I've been with. Shout out to them, fucking Valency, everybody else, Manifest Illusion. But like this band, I'm like, damn, things just come together so fluidly.
Yeah.
Like, here's what we all want. We all present it to each other, and then we say, that's kind of what I expected. Great. Amazing. It's hard to find that. I was told that once. It's like, you can be a musician, but it's hard to click with people. So the songs just come together really good.
Yeah, literally our biggest part of our writing process is jamming it. We have a bassist, and then we just, not bassist like me,
They have you.
but a bass, and then we jam it out, figure out what's best.
You kind of just find something that's like, that sounds
Figure out the
badass,
structure.
and then I write lyrics over it, and we figure it out from there. Just kind of always fuck with it and just keep going, Finally you find something that's like, and sometimes we write songs and have changed them a billion times. Like
You guys, that was
yeah.
dumb.
yeah, we still have a song that we've been working on for a while. It's like we use it as our intro because we're still like,
yeah, some
tweaking
songs
it.
were like, okay,
It's
Like,
yeah.
Some just kind of come out like
Something's
diarrhea,
missing.
and others a little bit more constipated. I guess.
I have to say, like, Tyler kind of like came up with this riff that he had, and it's like we're nitpicky with it, but it's one of those songs we're like, don't get tired of. We're like, this is a song to be fucked with. People are gonna fuck with this song, but we're still like, it's just the intro right now. We keep changing little things, like little 2-second things. All right, one measure, 4 bars, boom. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be great.
I think the fact that we've taken so long with it and keep fucking with it, this one's gonna be like, we have a bunch of
be solid.
we have other
Yeah.
songs that are kind of like, he just wrote a riff and we fucking like, I think we're almost done with that song. For some reason it just came out way easier, and this one it's like, I don't know if we just want it to be really good or if we feel something about it or if it's gonna suck eventually. Who knows? It's taken for fucking ever though.
It might just suck, dude. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, it's also
they just
like-
haven't told me yet. They're like, yeah,
Just
dude.
let him go. Let him go.
Just have him play it as the intro. Like, fucking idiot.
I'm just kidding.
Good job, Ringo. We'll put it on the fridge.
I'm joking. Damn.
So you guys did the Bastard Nation. You did that this year, right? Because I think on there is 2022, right?
Yeah, so it was like we recorded it last year, but it got released from our original record label, and then that kind of dissolved, and now we're with a new record label, and they brought it back out.
What's
So,
the record label?
Grimace Records. They're based out of Texas.
Why does that sound familiar? Who else?
MDC, Naked Aggression. They have tons of fucking bands on there.
Were they involved
Sounds
with
familiar.
that show with the Dead Kennedys? Did they get that all together? Or was it
Well, it's
DK?
Dead Kennedys and MDC. They're great friends. They get along.
I bet,
great.
dude. They're both.
So that was like how we met them. We played a show
With
with,
covert
Dead Kennedys.
booking and
Yeah.
shit.
Really? Dead Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dead Kennedys, MDC, and us, and it was fucking. that show was awesome.
rad, dude. We have this kid that
We
comes
got
by.
to actually meet Plague Row and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Before he passed, yeah.
I'm so
Nice.
glad I was able to.
Ever since that show, this one kid and his parents always come to our shows there, and he always buys our merch. He's so stoked. He comes with his friends now. I'm like,
Scott,
dude,
yeah, Scott's
Scott,
awesome.
yeah, man. I'm like, dude, you're the next generation, dude. Like, fuck yeah. Eventually, when he's like older, I'm gonna give him all of our merch. So what if we have like one of those cool, what were those called? The can machines that TV Tragedy had.
Oh, the little beer shotgunners.
Yeah,
beer
can
shotgunner.
machines.
It's like a little shotgun tool.
Yeah, dude. They like 3D
Someone
printed
was
these
good with the
shotgunners. And I'm
3D
like,
printer.
They're cool. TV Tragedy is awesome.
So where did you guys record the album up? Was it up here in Big Bear?
No, it was in Ventura at Captain Quarters Studios.
Okay.
So it's a really nice studio. Armand is a super awesome guy. He owns
Loved
it.
him.
Yeah, he's super cool.
And how long were you there for?
2 days.
So you did the whole album, everything in 2 days?
Yeah.
You guys were moving.
Yeah, we did it quick. We made sure we were super tight on the songs so we could get in there and get them done. But Armand's honestly a magician, and he's
Yeah.
it's weird that like
I think he's like a warlock.
yeah, we went there.
I gotta take a look at these warlocks.
There's something about Armand. He's crazy, but meeting him and just like being in his presence is like calming. Like he's like this like
he's like the ocean, dude.
yeah, he has this like aura.
He's
to
like
him.
the
I don't know.
fucking waves that you hear when you
He
want to go to
calms
sleep,
you
bro.
when you're recording, and he does an amazing job.
Then afterwards, he's like,
His
let's go down to
mastering
the
is
what's that
insane.
place called?
The sewer.
The sewer. We go have some drinks with him. He's just so
We went and
just
had
recap.
pizza at that one pizza
Oh,
place. It
dude.
was so delicious.
Fuck,
It
what was that
so
pizza
good.
place called?
With
bro?
him and his girlfriend or his wife. I don't know. She was super sweethart too.
Everybody was
That
cool.
was awesome.
Man.
Yeah, that was a cool trip.
Yep.
That's pretty good. 8 songs in 2 days with everything: drums, guitar, vocals.
We hammered it the fuck out. We had already paid him for the third day. We already scheduled the third day, so he just gave us a hookup, and we just gave him some extra cash for like mixing and mastering, and he did a great fucking job.
So he did everything: mixing, mastering, and then
he does like all the stuff for like all the Nardcore bands and stuff like that, all like the Oxnard hardcore and Ventura bands, and so yeah, he did everything, So he fucking killed it for sure.
So when you do, I'm assuming you're working on new songs now. It sounds like. Yeah. Are you going to do the same thing? Go back down there to him for this one?
We're hoping so. If not, we're talking to a few other places, and you always got to keep your options open. Mm-hmm. Just see what's the best option available, and obviously money's a factor, time's a factor, their professionalism and what they're going to produce and what they're going to put out there.
You want some yahoos?
Yeah, we stick closely to like I guess like anarchist beliefs and like fuck the system and all that shit, and but we still know that like you have to be heard. Your message has to be heard. You have to have an audience, or you're just screaming at a fucking wall. And so there's like that fine line of like, obviously we have to stick to who we are, and that'll never change because that's just who we are. But you have to also show yourself to a bigger audience and put yourself out there more. So.
Well, that's what we were talking about with Fallen Legacies. Is a lot of music nowadays is just stupid. It doesn't have any heart, doesn't have any soul. It's just
just trying to
good for you guys.
Trying to get big or something.
Doing who you are.
He just did a song with them too.
I just did a song with Fallen Legacies.
When I heard it, I was like, God damn, dude, what the fuck?
Why wasn't that our song?
By the time you hear this,
so
it'll
cool,
be out
dude.
though.
So. Yeah, I think by the same time.
So right now, it's like, as the time of this is recording, it's like hush, hush, be quiet. But by the time that this comes out, the song should be out and everything.
Yeah, I
love that.
I couldn't hold back, man. I couldn't hold back. We'll give him a date, I guess.
We got hand signals over there. Rocking out.
Shit.
So do you guys play much shows up here in Big Bear, or most of it's just down the mountain?
No, we got a few shows coming up in Big Bear. We actually just this weekend played in Big Bear. It was just like a comedy show. We had some friends come up that we knew from this comedy, like Corrupted Comedy Club. They're all based in LA. This guy Trevor does it all. He couldn't be there because his mom was like dying, and she actually just passed away. So rest in peace to Trevor's mom. Yeah, he's a super nice guy, and it sucked because he planned this whole thing and then couldn't be here because of that. But obviously, you're gonna go see your mom. You know what I mean?
Some priorities.
Yeah, but then so we had that show, and that turned out super awesome even without him there. But we have a show with Guttermouth coming up soon. It's Guttermouth and Line, us since we were kids, and Social Habit. Right, Social Habit's on that one?
I think so.
Oh
yeah.
no, they're on the
Sharks.
MDC show.
They're on the
Yeah.
MDC
So,
show. It's the Gun Sharks.
The Gun Sharks are on this one, which they're a local Big Bear band. Mm-hmm. And then we have an MDC show where we start our MDC tour I was telling you about. And that one starts off in Big Bear. It's
nice.
Big Bear goes to like Ventura, LA. I don't know the exact order. I have it somewhere, but it's like San Diego, Pomona, and Hawthorne.
Now, is it, you'll play here, you'll go down to LA, you'll stay down there, or you play in LA, come back up here, go down to Ventura, come back where you
Fuck that. Yeah, I think hopefully by then we're going to try to get like a tour van, but pretty much we're going to get like I want to get a shuttle and put a bunch of fucking bunks in it so we can put all of our gear in it.
Oh, nice.
And then so we can also just pass out in there because that's going to be so much fucking driving. It's 4 hours to Ventura from here. So that'll be 8 hours of driving just in one day. Yeah, so. Well,
bless your hearts for living here. I hate coming up that damn mountain. I get car sick easy, so every time I come up here, I'm
shit.
like...
Yeah, dude. You got to really be ready to cruise and bring your snacks and your water and just your ginger ale, especially probably. And with a fisherman's friend or some, what is it, the nausea medicine, some magnets for your ears. I don't know. Menthol for your nose. I don't know what it is, dude.
Magnets for your ears.
Dude, it's a real thing. They're like, it cures me. No, it doesn't.
So you got some tours coming up. And then you're working on a song. You're gonna maybe try and do an album soon, or are you just figuring that out as you go, or do you have plans on that?
So I think we're gonna be hopefully just like release. We're planning on like recording the whole album once we get it all set in stone, and then I think we might be like teasing with a few like singles here and there, you know, like maybe one or two. If any of the songs are like, oh, that's the fucking one, you know.
I heard singles are the thing now.
Yeah, apparently. So we're trying to get hip with the new kids, you know.
Industries.
TikTok and whatnot.
Yeah, we just made a TikTok. So
TikTok.
I think I posted like 2 or 3 things on it. I suck at TikTok. I'm really good at Instagram and like Facebook, but
I just
TikTok
want to
is.
see you like doing like a twerking dance.
Yeah, like this is how
and
you
like
dance.
mouthing
Live
some other
fast.
song.
Oh yeah.
And mouthing like some song from X-Temptation or something.
Temptation. Damn, rip.
But, yeah, so we want to get the whole album done, which we're aiming for like 12 songs is like our goal. But you know, as long as we get close to that, unless we do the whole thing, like 11's not good enough, you know.
Yeah,
who
no,
knows?
that's what's gonna happen. I guarantee you. After last experience, I'll be like 2 more songs. We'll have 13 songs. Whoa.
So do you guys like to play covers at all? And if you do, what type of covers?
We like to play covers, especially because people always fucking, you know, like them, and then we get to play songs we like and stuff. So, right now we just started covering the song "Pub Feed" by the Chats, which we like the Chats a lot.
The Shots.
We just started covering "Halloween" by Misfits, and but kind of like AFI Misfits, like mix up because. You know, we love old school AFI when they were actually punk instead of whatever the fuck they are now.
Another song that I enjoyed listening to was "No Escape."
Oh yeah, fucking A.
Big claimed another one. Said it's where they saw a gun. Another life taken soon by a bunch of thugs in blue. When will the shit end? Would you care if it was your friend? You looked outside of your safe space and you realized there's no escape. No escape, no escape. Struck the degree, it was still your fate. No escape, no escape. No escape, no escape. Struck a degree, it will seal your fate. No escape, no escape. The destruction of our nation is filling my people with hatred. We need to unite as one, and I won't shut up till it's done. I can't do this alone. Come on, step out of your home. Show that they are through. We can show what we can do. No escape, no escape. Struck a degree, it will seal your fate. No escape, no escape. No escape, no escape. Struck a degree, it will seal your fate. No escape, no escape.
The destruction that lives inside this nation is not just unjust, but it thrives on the poor. It helps you don't know enough about the laws, but you fuck yourself in the end. Well, that ends now.
No escape, no escape. Struck a degree, it will seal your fate. No escape, no escape. No escape, no escape. Struck a degree, it will seal your fate. No escape, no escape.
So what's that one about?
Pretty much just like I don't know, fucking pretty much that you can't.
Well, you know, when you think about the chorus, I guess, you know, because, you know, choruses are very powerful in songs. You know, like, there's no escape from being a destructive and greedy person. And
Like, it's just-
that
that's who you
translates to every walk of life. Like, you can't be anybody who's fucking rich, poor, broke, dog, cat, bird, worm. Literally, like, if you like get greedy and you start fucking being destructive, you get your ass mollywopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of
That's
like
it.
a commentary on like the difference between the classes. Like we have like the super rich and us,
And
Which is,
super
you know,
poor.
most people, and it's
and the effect that the effect that their decisions make on our lives that they don't give a fuck about.
Like you're just a nobody.
Yeah, and we really can't escape that. Like,
There's even the part where it's like, oh fuck, what's the part I was just thinking about?
Was it in the beginning or the end?
No. Oh yeah, it's like if you looked outside of your safe space, then you realize there's no escape. Like a lot of people just
Right.
sit at home and watch the news every once in a while and
yeah, they
think
say
like, oh,
dormant.
everything's fine, but like right outside their house, there's like someone starving and like, or someone that's addicted to heroin or crack. You know what I mean? And
Right
That's
across
easy
the
to-
pond, as they call it, right, like past Alaska, fucking people are getting.
And it's
bombed
also
and-
kind of a call to arms. Like, it's also like, hey, like, don't be okay with this.
Yeah,
Like, don't
pretty
be
much.
okay with this.
It's not
fucking
normal.
Government overreach and injustice that's going on. Like, fucking do something about it. Like, let's get up and fucking take care of this.
Right.
Down with the man.
no, yeah.
So who are your guys' favorite people to play with or to play shows with? Or do you have favorites or who? It doesn't really matter to play with anyone, kind of a thing.
Oh, we'll play with fucking anyone. Bands that we like looked up to, I would say, like that we've looked up to since we were kids.
Wait a minute. Wait, no. There we go.
No, we're just rolling on the since we were kids jokes. But Voodoo Glow Skulls is awesome. We love those guys. They love our music. We love their music. They're some of the nicest fucking people in the world, which is super cool. NBC is one of our favorite fucking bands. They're some of the nicest people in the world. Obviously, they were the ones that were like, Grimace, you got to sign them. Like, we love them. And it was like, wow, okay.
Nice.
We love you guys too. We love playing with DFL.
Yeah.
Are they still playing?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I have one of their albums.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think I've heard it.
Yeah, they
they're
made like a
going
big
hard.
comeback this year,
I didn't know that.
or a few years ago. I don't fucking know how long it's been now, but they just got back after a long ass time, put out a new record,
Nice.
and they're awesome. I love DFL. They're some of our like best friends. So, well, and then bands that we that we've met recently that we love playing with. Fallen Legacies. Those guys are fucking awesome. They're great friends of ours. Since
Fuck
we were
yeah.
kids, TV Tragedy, Lost Issue, fucking Her Wicked Jones, fucking Off the Wall.
The
fucking
Hated.
The
Is that the one? The Hated
Yeah,
was
I
really
fucking
cool to
love The
see.
Hated. They're awesome. Fuck, man, there's so many good bands that we just love playing with. So it's honestly, as long as you're not a douche, because you can be an awesome musician, but if you come off stage and you're just a fucking douche or an asshole,
Right.
it totally changes everything.
There's a lot of those out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've come across a few. I won't name names or anything like that, but if you're listening,
I won't
fuck
tell anybody.
you. No. But there's just some people are all in music for just them. You know what I mean? And
Oh, yeah.
obviously, you need to be about yourself to a certain point. But there's a point when it's like punk rock is family. Punk rock is is like love and shit. So
Yeah.
we're all giant family here. So
But I will have to say that the more rock and metal bands I've played in, a lot more of that.
yeah, it's a
A
lot,
lot
more ego.
more just dicks.
Yeah. Well, fucking punk rock's the place where misfits and losers all come together.
So you guys are on the Grimace label. What all does a label do for you? I remember as a kid when you think, man, you got a label, you're getting on the studio time, you're getting all this stuff. It's changed now. It's not quite that same thing, is it?
Yeah, it's mainly like they help us with streams. They help us with like distribution and stuff, so we don't have to pay DistroKid.
Oh, nice.
They do a lot of cool things. They help us with booking, obviously, getting us this tour with NBC. They want to bring us out to fucking Texas soon. They're awesome people, honestly. So they do a ton of comps and stuff like
Okay.
that, compilations, and they all go to like, one went to helping Ukraine, one went to help the like uprising in Mexico, one went to they do shit fucking everywhere, and it's always for a good cause. So it's cool too, because like they'll just hit us up and be like, hey, we want to use a song off here. And I've told her, Sophie, she's amazing, but I tell her all the time, like, don't even fucking ask me, Sophie. Like, you've done literally so much for us, and you're so awesome to us. Just tell me, hey, I'm putting this song on this, and I'll go, yes, ma'am.
Go team.
Yeah, exactly. And
So can you guys book your own shows? You just let them know, hey, these are what we booked, or they book them all for you, or how does that work?
we have like a booking agency too that we work with, Covert Booking, and like we can book our own shows. We can do fucking whatever we want.
Like
We're
you
not-
want to play at Bob's or whatever, you could just do that.
Yeah, we're not like exclusive. We're not that fucking big yet.
We're not on Ticketmaster.
Yeah, well, shit, we are actually. I think we have a few
Oh,
shows.
really?
We have a few shows that are in Ticketmaster
nice.
and Eventbrite, all that shit. But We're about to hit, I think, we might have right now, but we're almost about 10,000 followers on Instagram.
Of course, by the time this releases, we will, of course, been by, it would have already happened.
I think we're only like a few away right now.
The growth has been like, what the fuck?
Oh,
dude?
we're actually, as of right now, we're at 9999.
Are you serious?
We're one away from 10,000.
What day is it today?
Today?
Tuesday?
What time is it right now?
Tuesday, November 29th, 6:45.
6:45. We're at 9,999 followers on.
Whatever he said.
Go with that, dude.
Yeah. But, so yeah, we can book our own shows, but pretty much like they'll hit us up and be like, hey, we want to put this show here. Can you get it? Or, fucking, you guys want to do this, you know? Or sometimes, a lot of times the music industry is like just luck. You know what I mean? Like, we got lucky in the fact that we played a show with the Exploited, Total Chaos, and Cro-Mags, and that was an awesome show at the Belasco Theater in LA. It was fucking awesome. But we almost had to miss it because it was scheduled for the 25th, a show we were going to be on, and it was supposed to be in San Diego, but they were doing a whole tour, and our booking agent had like 4 dates that he was plugging bands in, like his bands and shit. And so he contacted us about the 25th, and I was like, oh, that's literally the day I'm getting married.
Oh, dear.
So I can't do that. And like he even gave me shit like, whoa. And it's like,
What's more important?
No, I'm getting married, fucker. You know what I mean? Like my wife will literally kill me. And
there will be no more bands.
but we'd already waited 2 years to get married because of COVID, so they kept canceling our fucking wedding. So it's like, no, we're doing this. You know what I mean? And so he was like, fuck, okay, sorry, no show. And that was like, oh no, like I want to meet Waddy, you know, like and like we stood next to Danzig and he talked to my kids, you know what I mean? Like that night was fucking like
awesome.
It was fake.
I have
so
heard Danzig's kind of strange too.
I guess him and Waddy have big problems. They do not get along. So, but he ended up hitting us and being like, "Hey, I was able to switch it, so you guys are playing the LA show, which is like the Belasco's fucking, you know, super old theater, 100-something years old. So it was pretty fucking awesome,
I tell you, this stuff is easy to feel.
right?
It's easy,
Fucking A.
especially just talk about nothing.
It's just bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it's just fun. It's just fun, especially when we follow legacies. It's just fun to get to people that meet people, just get to know what makes them tick.
Yeah.
I'm happy they recommended you to us because
Yeah.
you seem like an awesome guy. I told him, I was like, when they were like, oh yeah, hit up this guy, I was like, yeah, as long as he's fucking cool and has like the same mindset and, you know, goals, is like, let's get music out there and good
Yeah.
music out there, and, you know, especially punk rock. And I know those people fucking give a shit about punk rock, you know.
Oh yeah.
Not enough people give a shit about punk rock, so.
But I thought about, I tried. The only one I don't really feel like doing is country. I just can't. I have a hard time with country.
I
Right.
totally get that.
I like old school
Yeah.
country like that. Actual
Johnny's
cowboy.
Cash
Yeah,
and
actual
stuff.
cowboy shit. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, I can get down with that.
With this new Glen Aldi or something.
It's like the stadium country. That's the shit that's
Yeah.
like, ugh.
It's like pop.
I'm
not
like-
really
yeah,
country,
pop
but
country.
It's like the kind of shit that makes me violent. Like,
Need
Well,
to
it's-
punch a fool in the face.
it's the rich trying to cash in. It's like, there's a song by Bo Burnham. He's a comedian, and he makes like
Yeah.
his country song.
I'm
It's
a good
joke.
old cunt tree boy.
Yeah, right. And he's like, he says like, oh, all you got to do is say a few key words, you know, like cold beer,
Don't you
pickup
know
truck.
I'm pandering?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's I think his song's called like Country Song.
I might as
Pandering.
well speak Mandarin.
Yeah, it's fucking.
You guys
it's a
heard the
great
one that's
song.
like, she's a cunt. Remu. Is it girl?
He keeps fucking the scarecrow.
Right. But it's great because he's just making
Like
fun of
blue
like that
jeans,
stadium rock
a
shit.
t-shirt. Oh my god, it's a fucking scarecrow again.
That's it.
I'll have to go check that out.
It's a great
fucking
song.
hilarious.
Yeah. He's just a comedian. He does songs.
Bo
and
Burnham's
shit.
the fucking...
I liked him
best.
before he even blew up in the fucking
Yeah.
the pandemic.
Yeah, I've loved him, like, for...
He
Since
started
he
off
was
as like
like
a
a fucking little
16-year-old
kid.
kid. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a
Really?
He's hilarious.
Now he's, like, all, like, Netflix famous and shit. Which
Sounds
is
familiar,
well
but I just couldn't
deserved.
picture anything that he's done. Or
He did, like, a comedy special. Like,
From his
he's, like,
house.
a music comedy kind of guy, and he did one, like, straight, like, he did all of it from his house during COVID. Like, by himself. Like, produced it, everything. It was well done. And he makes fun of all the fucking dumb shit. Yeah, I think one of his songs is like, a white girl on Instagram.
Yeah.
One day maybe I'll get it all set up and we'll actually have a show. You know, you can play some live music. That'd be awesome.
That'd be way cool.
But I'm barely even figuring out this 4 mic thing.
Hey,
We get more mics, we'll figure the other stuff out.
Dude, you're killing it. This is amazing. I think it's, you know.
Yeah, and we'll have to do it
it's
again because, again, it's just all about getting to know people. All right, well, thanks for joining me, and you guys have a good night and rock on.
Hell yeah, we're gonna do a little practice now.
Yeah.
Hot dog.
All right, fucking hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Man.
Later.